Hey everybody, this is iLad and we're back for another episode of Starmade. In today's episode we're going to be expanding our manufacturing hall by adding its very own shipyard. So this is an auxiliary shipyard that will serve to produce small sort of utility vessels. I've got some plans for a couple of those. Mining drone is one obvious use case for it. If you saw my recent video on mining fleets, they do still work. And I hear through the grapevine that some improvements might even be coming to make them work even better. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. So yeah, need a small place to produce small ships and easily dock them, repair them, work on them, whatever. And this should serve the purpose very nicely. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into it. Alright, so the reason why I've got all this stuff laid out this way is because just like the control module on the original main shipyard control center, I want to do this as an attached module. Be more need for small docking bays and hangar bays elsewhere on the station. And it's not that I want them all to be shipyards. I don't know, I may not do any more or many more shipyards like this, but I do want to be able to reuse the basic hangar template. So what I'm doing here is creating sort of a plug and play hangar deck that's going to just snap into place. And of course, part of the way that I'm going to pull that off is I'm going to make the window into the actual station, like the base of the station. I'm going to make it a glass door so that I can snap a frame into place around it. I'll never get tired of that effect right there. That is interesting. That might be the wrong place for a window, but I don't know. We'll see. Someday that graphics glitch is going to get fixed, I think. Boy, that is fascinating. I'm going to have to shroud this whole cargo bay in some other kind of material. Anyway, so yeah, I've got the shipyard in place. I've got these windows in place. Now it's time to actually jump into the shipyard itself. Yeah. And create a design. Now what I have planned is that this shipyard core, or ship core, is going to slide into place directly on top of the shipyard computer, which means that every part of the hangar deck that I'm about to build should be only one block offset in that direction from where its final place is going to be. Now we're going to see. We'll see. We'll see if this is going to work. I don't actually know. When I attached this thing, I had all manner of problems, including the fact that I had forgotten to cut out a notch on these ends to fit around the shipyard pylons. So I had to trim that back. The whole command deck is actually one block lower than it's supposed to be, and I don't know what's getting in the way, but I could not get it to raise up that last block. So we're actually going to have an unplanned little step down here. And there was a lot of other last minute tweaks, the shipyard computer is in the wrong place. Just lots of stuff like that. We're going to try real hard to avoid that this time. I think even I can translate something one block over. But I may be wrong. We'll see. Maybe I can't. We're going to test my theory. Anyway, let's go ahead and hop into this and start working on building the actual hangar deck. Oh dear, I did not orient that correctly. Son of. Okay. We're gonna fix this. All right, much better. All right. So let's get to framing in the actual hangar deck now. Okay, guys. Well, this is it. This is all I'm going to do in the actual shipyard part. So that's primarily the interior. I've got the same force field lockout that I have on the hangar up on my mining ship. Got another one here on this sort of airlock looking area. Both of those can be controlled with this console, which is pretty nice. I've got a console here that shifts direction on the rail, so incoming, outgoing. Yeah. And I've got this console hooked up to one of the rail speed controllers activation module. Basically, when a ship is incoming, depending on where the rail docker is located on the ship, I may want it to stop like right here, somewhere around there, or I may want it to continue a few more blocks. That depends partly on the size of it, because this is a fairly short docking bay actually, and just it depends on a couple things really. So what I did to sort of deal with that is with this active, it can continue a little farther up toward the control center. This deactivated, the speed of, I think this rail drops to 0. Yeah, drops to 0 right there. And then even if this is active, every ship will stop right here, because I don't ever want it to actually come up flush to the glass. So there's that. And then when it's in outgoing mode, both of those rails that I showed you, this one and this one, both increase speed to 100%. And actually, that reminds me, natural speed is 50%, so that's going to look a little odd. I'm going to deal with that by actually adding in just one more, what? Wrong thing. Just one more activation module on each rail docker that's permanently off. If I'm remembering correctly, that natural speed is always 100% or 50%, then that'll keep everything running pretty much consistently the entire length of the rail. So yeah. But yeah, right now everything will stop when the rail docker hits that block right there. So it's pretty cool. I got the indicator lights active, and I've got just everything wired up pretty well, I hope. I hope. Let's see, other considerations. I want to have side modules attachable here, either corridors or like cargo bays. So one of these is probably, even on this, is going to be like a little cargo area. At least one of them will be. Maybe both. I'm not sure yet. And of course, I'll be able to produce those modules right here in the shipyard. What else? I've got a sort of an observation deck up here, so you can come up here and you can see whatever's docked down there. I don't actually have a way to access it yet, so I'm just going to leave the back of it open, just like I'm leaving the entire exterior pretty much open. Remember, this is a module that's designed to sort of be plug and play. Whatever structure it's mounted on will have to actually surround it with stuff, right? Because I don't know, just making this sort of general purpose hangar deck, I don't know if it's going to be like a single hangar deck like this one is, or if it's going to be stacked onto a carrier or what, or I don't know if it's going to be used on a station or a ship, or what the access corridor is going to look like. So filling in the open spots will be on the host, the parent entity, rather than on this module. I think I'm pretty well showing everything that I've got going on here. Yeah, of course, this socket right here, the ship shipyard computer should end up being flush right there in that socket. I hope it goes better than the control center did, because that was kind of a pain. But I think that being said, it might be time to go ahead and try this out. Yeah. Let me see if I can get this built. I'm going to do that entirely off camera because I know I'm going to have to produce a lot of materials of various types. And I will see y'all once the module is actually built and is still attached to the shipyard anchor, because I'm going to get it on camera when I try to detach it and get it to automatically link up with the station. Alright, well, it says it stopped. I think I'm done. So that's cool. I did discover one disappointing thing. So this console over here, linked to that shipyard computer, was doing a fine job the other day of telling me my resource status. This one won't. So I guess that's a bug where only the first one works. I don't know. I'm not sure. It's frustrating. But, you know what? Here it is. So now for a moment of truth. Not necessarily the moment of truth, but one such. Is, I've got to... Those are supposed to be wedges. How much do I care? I might fix it some other time. I've got to undock this and see if it'll snap into position on the pickup rail down there. And boy, I hope this works. Undock. Yep. Oh, it's snapped. Oh yes. Oh, thank you. Oh my gosh. That's beautiful. The glass is in place. Yep. Oh yeah. Now moving this core is going to be a bit of a pain because I'm going to have to actually find some element of the station to attach it to. But I think I don't know. That'll be doable. I'm not too worried. In any case, though, it looks like we have our hangar shipyard in place. So that is fantastic. And I can switch to it, right? Wait, I'm already switched to it. There we go. Yeah, that whole middle mouse click to switch to a docked entity, that's been iffy lately. But it does work, which means it is properly attached. I love it. So, obviously it needs a lot of skinning to do. Well, just like the rest of the station. But that'll be okay. That is not a big deal. And I kind of love the exposed shipyard modules there. Yeah, I think this is nice. I mean, not to toot my own horn, but toot. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed watching this episode. If you have, you might consider leaving a like, possibly subscribing if you haven't already, and I would love to see you back for the next one. So thank you so much. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.